I wonder if there's any states who still do the firing squad, because I know a couple of people who I've done cases on who could have used that. Hey y'all, welcome and/or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So if you're ready, let's go. So I did my nails a couple minutes ago. I just finished a couple minutes ago, and I actually did them. These are not press-ons. Finally. So yes, I actually did these. And surprisingly, it didn't take me as long as I thought it was going to take me. I thought this was going to be an all-day thing. I didn't think I was going to be filming until tomorrow. But I did it. We got it done, and here we are. But yeah, other than that, I don't really think I have anything else to update y'all on. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop into today's case. And if you've been rocking with me for a little minute now, then you already know that we are going from the streams to the greens of America in alphabetical order. So from Alabama to Wyoming. And today we are in Utah. So it's July 9th, 1998, and it is between 8 and 8:30 p.m. in a place called Cedar City, Utah, when a woman named Carol Eeeeyuck gets a phone call. And when Carol picks up the phone, on the other end of the line is her ex/baby daddy, Tabron Honey. Now, Tabron and Carol had previously been in a relationship for 3 years. They were together from 1995 to early 1998, and within that 3-year span they had a daughter named Teresa. And from everything that I read and could understand, the relationship between Carol and Tabron was a volatile one, and this is why Carol decided to split from Tabron in 1998 when she did. And once she left Tabron, she took their daughter Teresa and she moved back in with her mom Claudia in Cedar City, Utah. And this is where she was at when Tabron called her that night. And Carol can tell by the way that Tabron is talking that he is clearly intoxicated. And not only is he intoxicated and drunk calling his ex, but he is intoxicated, drunk calling his ex from his new girlfriend's home. And then on this phone call, he told Carol to come to his girlfriend's house to see him because he missed her. And Carol is just on the other line like, "Sir, please stop playing on my mama's phone. I gotta go to work in a little bit." She worked night shift with her sister. But he was very adamant about her coming to see him. And he told her that if she don't come see him, he was gonna come and he was gonna kill her mama and her sister kids. And while this does sound quite alarming to you and I, because sir, what? Excuse me, what did you just say? The same can't be said for Carol, because unfortunately, this is something that she was used to. This was nothing new for her. Tabron, during the course of their relationship, had threatened to kill multiple people in her lives multiple times, even her at times. So when he said this, she just chalked it up to another one of his idle threats. Like, "Boy, you drunk, you tripping, you talking out the side of your neck. I gotta go to work. I'm hanging up now." And when she got off the phone with him, she literally didn't think nothing of that conversation aside from the fact that Tabron had called her drunk. And she went on about her night. So after the phone call with Tabron, Carol started getting ready for work because she got to be to work at 10:30. And like I said, he had called her around 8:30. So she getting herself ready for work. And during the course of getting ready for work, Tabron called Carol 2 more times. And it was never stated if Carol actually talked to Tabron the other 2 times that he called, but it is noted that he called 2 more times. So now 10:30 rolls around and both Carol and her sister Bonita leave for work. But both of them got really young kids at this point. Bonita got 2 and Carol has 1. And what do we do when we have loving, caring, active parents/grandparents? The grandmother baby. So Carol and Bonita both leave their kids with their mom, Claudia, for the night while they go to work. So Claudia's in the house with the kids. She's doing her grandma thing, getting the kids ready for bed, probably giving them some stuff that they're not supposed to have when their mamas is there. You know, just being a loving, doting, caring grandmother who is taking care of her grandkids while her children go make money, right? Meanwhile, Tabron is over here at his girlfriend Shiloh's house, just drunk and mad. And he decides to call Carol again. But this time when he called Carol, he don't get Carol on the phone. And Claudia tells Tabron that Carol is not there. And this upsets Tabron even more. And so what does he decide to do? He decides to call a cab and pull up to Claudia's house. So it's at 11:20 p.m. when a cab pulls up to pick up Tabron and drop him off close to Claudia's house, because he don't have the cab driver drive right up to the house. He has the cab driver drive a little bit down the way so he can walk the rest of the way. And right there, that's just already suspicious, because why you couldn't get dropped off at the front of the house? Because you didn't want the cab driver to be able to tell on you in the event that something should happen, right? I think that's what it was. So yeah. Anyway, so Tabor walks the short distance from wherever he had the cab driver drop him off at to Claudia's house. And once he gets there, he breaks into the home by throwing a rock into the sliding glass door. If I'm not mistaken, he had actually spoken to Claudia prior to breaking the glass door, but Claudia was not trying to have no dealings with him, and so he and her got into a heated argument, and then he got a rock and broke the door. And once he got inside of the house, this is when he proceeded to attack Claudia. And even though Tabor was a big dude, Claudia put up one hell of a fight, because she was not only trying to fight for her own life, but she had 3 grandbabies in there that she was trying to protect as well. And Claudia was giving it to him. She even bit this man. She was not playing with him. But unfortunately though, Tabor was able to overpower her, and he ended up stabbing her multiple times and cutting her throat as well. And as if that's not bad enough, Tabor also proceeded to absolutely mutilate Claudia. And sadly, she did end up passing away, but the coroner was not able to determine if Claudia was alive throughout the mutilation process. And it sounds crazy, but one can only hope that she had already passed on. And so now, after he murders and mutilates Claudia, he turns his attention to one of Benita's children, and he assaults the child. And this is a sexual assault performed with his fingers. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I will say that it was absolutely brutal. Luckily though, one of Claudia's neighbors heard the screams and ended up calling the police. And they got there before Tabor was able to flee the house. And so now once they get there, they call out and they order everybody out of the house. And surprisingly, Tabor doesn't put up a fight. He actually just walks out of the house covered in blood and announces that he has stabbed Claudia. And he's arrested without incident. And so now once he's in custody, the police make their way into the home, where they will ultimately end up finding the complete devastation of it all. So Claudia was in the living room, nude from the waist down, with the telephone in her left hand. And it's presumed that she had the phone in her hand to call the police. And then they found her 3 grandchildren covered in blood, one of which was bleeding from the assault that Tabor had done to her. And when I tell y'all, I am sparing so many details about what actually happened. It was so bad. And y'all know, I don't know if y'all know or not, but I usually don't get squeamish about too much of nothing, okay? I've seen quite a bit of things doing this, and I can read it all and take it all because I'm not a squeamish person like that. Now, of course, it does affect me, but I'm not like, But this right here, the details of this case had me so uncomfortable. If you want to read it, it's public information. You can read the court documents. But yeah, let's move on. So yeah, anyways, they take Tabor in for questioning, and he admits everything right away. He said that he was arguing with Claudia and they was yelling at each other back and forth through the sliding glass door. And eventually he just picked up a rock and threw it into the glass door so that he could get inside. And once he got inside, this is when he carried out the attacks. And because Tabor was so forthcoming and outright with everything, he decided to waive his right to a jury trial, and he ended up pleading guilty and was sentenced to death by a judge. After Claudia's murder, a lot happened within her family because Claudia was the true matriarch of her family. She was considered an elder of the Paiute Indian tribe of Utah. She was so much to not only her family, but to her community as well. She was known for aiding in the higher education of women, so she really pushed for women to move past high school, move past the grade levels, and get your higher education, do whatever it is in life that you wanted to do. Like, she really pushed for this. And she was also a substance abuse counselor in the community as well. But above all of that, she was a caregiver to her whole family. So being that person, like, I mean, I can only imagine the devastation of it all. And not a lot is said about how Carol and Benita grieved the loss of their mom, but Teresa, Tabron and Carol's daughter, she said she was pretty upset at the fact that growing up that she had to grow up without her grandma because her dad did what he did. And I'm not sure if that is what caused this, but at some point, Teresa, she did deal with substance abuse. And because of this substance abuse, she and her mom, Carol, they kind of fell out. And so Teresa leaned towards her dad, and she said that her dad was really helpful and influential in her recovery journey and just being there for her overall, even though he was locked up. And so naturally, she was sad when on August 8th, 2024, her dad, Tabron Honey, was executed by lethal injection. And Tabron, it turns out he was the first man to be executed in Utah since 2010 when a man was executed by firing squad. And I'm so surprised that we still had the firing squad in 2010. I thought that had been abolished years and years and years prior, but apparently not. I wonder if there's any states who still do the firing squad, because I know a couple of people who I've done cases on who could have used that. But anyway, nonetheless, that is all I have for today's case. Thank you all so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. You didn't look tired in the mirror, but now you do. This is the way we ball, and we like to floss. All my diamonds cost. I represent the dirty South. Hey y'all, welcome welcome back. Wait, damn, what part of Utah are we in? In a place called Cedar City, and Carol can tell that. And he told her that if he don't know, and so when he said this, she kind of just chalked it up to one of another. And so when she but it is noted that he did try to talk to that. So now 10:30 rolls around, and both Carol and her sister Benita, yes. And so with all of this, and so now he ends up being apprehended without what? What's the word? Easily apprehended. There's a way that they say that, and I can't think of it. Without incident.